so-called flying saucers.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. It's rotating.
Welcome to Kill the Stigma. So, I've been thinking about this, and I don't know if I should do this, but I'm doing it anyway. I'm gonna call this episode Elephant in the Room. This is about something that I feel kind of embarrassed about, and it's just that you know, there's this doomer vibe going out there on X, and it's basically about 3IA Atlas and this alien mothership that's coming. And I gotta say, I even think I'm like, come on, UFOs, aliens, they've been here, come on, like, why are you, like, they've been here since forever, so why would you be concerned about this? But I gotta admit, a small part of me does get a little bit spooked, just a little bit sometimes, and I just want it, since no one's addressing it. I see no YouTuber, no podcaster addressing this, because of course, you don't want to be that guy who's like, come on, like, dude, you're gonna let that bother you? Like, come on, I had to edit some of that out, pretty excited. Anyway, usually I do raw, but that was too much. Anyway, so why am I concerned? Just a small part of it, and I kind of want to talk about it because I do think it's an elephant in the room. I mean, I've been seeing posts on X on people talking about, like, hey, you know, freaking spend time with your family, blah, blah. I take those with a grain of salt. Trust me. Look, something I've learned about this topic is people always get apocalyptic and nothing ever happens. Trust me. I'm just addressing the elephant in the room, that small part, because we do have people with clearances, people very high up, billionaires building bunkers, right? And I've been looking at some YouTube videos that do match the, like, 3IA Atlas vibe, and I'm going to show you that. But it was before 3IA Atlas was public, and I just don't want to be a coward. Like, I want to talk about this stuff without judgment. You know, you might think, oh, you're just some dude, like, no, I'm not a freaking just some dude who's, I'm not gonna brag about where I've been, but the point is, like, no, man, I'm not just some dumbass, right? I'm just trying to be honest. Like, yeah, like, I get, like, sometimes a little bit of doom vibes, and I want to talk about it. I don't want to be a coward. I don't want to be scared. I don't give a fuck what people think. Anyway, so yeah, so Lou Elizondo built a bunker. You know who else built the bunker? Chris Ramsey. Why don't we ask Chris Ramsey, why'd you build the bunker, bro? Maybe he's just got the money to do it. Whatever. But why? Right? Like, and then Robert Bigelow. And look, listen to this and think about 3IA Atlas, right? And also take into consideration, why is the UFO phenomena being more, you know, we just saw Russ Gohar talking to the Japanese, the secretary, not the secretary of defense, the prime minister, whatever. They're like, we're seeing these things way more. Why? And what's up with the mystery drones? Why are they, like, making this, like, freaking move where they're, like, not covert anymore? They're just trying to be shown, and they're freaking over critical infrastructure and nuclear plants. Like, think about that, right? Not, please, guys, I'm sure nothing's gonna happen. I'm sure everything's okay. I'm really not trying to fearmonger. I'm just trying to address the issue and why a part of me does feel concerned. Like, I'm not trying to fearmonger. I guarantee everything's gonna be okay. You know, like, I'm pretty freaking sure. But I want to address that freaking small part of me that's been bothering me. Freaking Matthew Pines sharing tweets like, shorten your timelines, blah, blah, blah. You know, like, bro, like, come on, dude. Like, you can just drop that shit out there. Why don't you shut up? And, like, if you're not going to... anyways, you guys might know who Matthew Pines is. Some of you might not. He's this guy. I think he's worked for the NSA. He's got connections. He's been dropping these apocalyptic tweets, and it's been kind of frustrating for me, honestly, because I take people like that kind of seriously, and then I'm like, and then there's this comet or mothership alien. I'm just gonna talk about it, man. So let me show you why I wonder.
I don't know if this is kosher to talk about on air, but I mean, we can start in a second if it's not. But you're building a bunker out there in Wyoming?
You know, the rule to Fight Club is you never talk about Fight Club. Right? So if you're building a bunker, you don't tell people, because then everybody knows where to go when everything goes south. So, you know, it would be remiss of me to not say that. Yeah, I think people look. Being prepared is not a bad thing. Now, being paranoid, maybe.
A bunker feels a little paranoid,
you know,
Lou.
Well, look, there's an old saying, right? Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you.
What is a bunker? Wait, I mean, we hear all about these billionaire bunkers.
Just like you said. I mean, I'm going to have to ask 2027.
No, I don't know why people keep saying 2027.
Listen,
People are like, oh, Lou said 2027. No, I never said 2027. Stop,
Okay.
guys. I never said that. You know what happens is people in the internet have got way too much time on their hands. They will clip together interviews I have to create a false narrative.
okay, so let me know. Then what is it? Is it you know, Bledsoe has a hard date, by the way. He says Easter Sunday 2026 is like his date. I've heard people say 2025 is when we begin this, whatever. And like it you know, it's obviously the goalpost is going to shift depending on what's been said. Recently, Jeremy Corbell in his special, in his 3-part special, at the end of it said that the government was intending on having some mass sighting or like a giant mothership come in and that, you know, this is going to happen. And then 2027's been thrown around. Can you, for everyone's sanity,
Yeah, sure.
shed a little bit of light on this just so we can stop being paranoid, or we can start, you know, being paranoid?
Let me see if I can thread the needle on this.
Sure. Take your time.
You know, well, I know a lot of people, you know, this is nothing new. There's entire religions that plan for doomsday, right? The end of the world's coming. Then you have, you know, oh, then it's Y2K, and then, oh, it's the end of the Aztec calendar, right? And, you know, it's now, there is some speculation, and I won't say specifics, that there may be something in later on, but the problem is I wouldn't go to the bank with it. And what the specifics are, because it's first of all, it's hearsay. And it's also yes, there was an official effort by some people in the government to actually look at this data, and there were some products produced. That's a fact. I won't go into more detail than that, but it wasn't 2027.
Okay.
And it was based upon certain observations. And again, I'm very careful because what I don't want to do is people are going to take this, they're going to hang on to these words and say, Lou said something's coming. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that there were some people who were anticipating something happening. And it was officially considered by some people based upon certain things. And a product was written. Anything beyond that, I don't want to discuss, because I think what happens is people take that and they take it to the bank.
Sure.
And that's very dangerous.
You don't want to give any credence to something that could be untrue.
Right. I mean, look, anything can happen, right? A tornado could hit your studio in 10 minutes from now. It could.
Yeah.
It probably won't, but it could, right? So we have to be very careful. There's no such thing as absolutes.
But it's when you say something was observed that people's ears tend to perk up.
Yeah. I mean, I can't go into more detail than that, because first of all, I didn't collect the data. I wasn't part of that effort. And thirdly, you know, that's not really for me to discuss, but I don't think people need to be, you know, Panic at the Disco and, you know, oh my God, we've been down this road many times before. Let's stop speculating. Let's stick to what we know. And if it turns out that there's a revelation based upon of us all working together on this, and fine, maybe it is what it is, but we need to make sure we don't do ourselves the injustice by predicting and predicating things. I think that's a dangerous move. And I think unless the government comes out and says something, hey, you need to pay attention to this, then we probably should focus on other things.
I mean, and most people would probably agree with me, but if the government did say that, we might be questioning why they said that.
Right.
If there is a time where our technology really, really gets us in a horrible situation.
There are certainly plenty of very serious thinkers who say that the human race is heading right towards extinction.
We have a current program that was a successor to the contest. And I thought, I'm going to jump us a little bit, because we started, at ground zero, at the foundation with the contest. And and I did it not because of my belief system, because I already have a belief system, but I did it to see what kind of proof and evidence would be acquired. And so the challenge is of a different order of magnitude. The challenge is an effort to involve an acquisition of information from the other side that proves or disproves what information Bix already has from multiple kinds of sources as to the disposition of the human race in time coming. It's a pessimistic view that we have relative to the data that are telling us what we see. I'm hoping we're wrong, and but I'm hoping that the data are substantial in the way that we're trying to acquire it to tell us we're wrong, because we're going to do devil's advocacy on the data that's coming from the sources that we are out there trying to gather.
If I understand what you're saying, it's basically like the data that is coming into you from multiple sources leads you to have a pessimistic outlook on the future of humanity.
Yeah.
And you're looking for some way that we might be able to change that apparent destiny.
I don't think that's an achievable goal for me.
Okay.
I think I'm an explorer, a researcher, and I think that problem is gigantic. It's huge.
Because it's coming at us from many angles.
Yeah, it's probably already written on the wind one way or another, and it's going to happen. And there's little or nothing we can do about it. Part of that is a function of nobody's going to listen anyway, and so who are we talking to, right? So we'll know, maybe we'll have more information than the average person on the street is going to have, right? And maybe that will give us some ability to have some comfort in our thought process of thinking about not just our container has a clock ticking, but from normal biological disintegration or whatever, or an accident or something coming along, but from a standpoint that things are really going to be bad. And how do you prepare yourself for that, and those that you love and care for, or friends? How do you prepare for any of that, right? So that's probably the best that we can do.
Well, you're talking about something, a huge topic most people can't begin to wrap their minds around, the potential extinction of our species. That's something very few people want to address at all.
What is up with Robert Bigelow? I really wish somebody could get to the bottom of what the hell he was talking about. But listen, maybe like I said, maybe I'm just like a little bit paranoid, but if you've been following what's going on with 3IA Atlas, it's pretty freaking weird, man. Like, recently, this sun just threw like this solar flare at it or something along those lines. I'm not a scientist, and that thing just sucked it up like nothing. And it's also a huge coincidence, not only the trajectory that it was on to match the orbit of the planets, but like that the sun, that thing hit the freaking craft, okay? The precision of that is insane. And it sucked it up, probably harnessed it, and has a bunch of energy, and now we can't see it, right? So like, that is weird. At the same time, the mystery drones are the flap is, look, I know, maybe I'm paranoid, I already said that, sorry, but I just wonder, like, is that what these people were talking about? Why did Elizondo build a freaking bunker? And Chris Ramsey too. I don't know if people know that, but why? Right? Like, maybe Chris Ramsey has the money to just do it, right? But doesn't care. But and Alessandro's like, oh, it was, well, I never said 2027. The 2025, bro? And you wrote imminent? And I know what people, oh, he showed a fake UFO picture. Bro, I know, but still, like, the guy talks, and I know he's toxic. Especially the people that follow him. I know they created a disaster for ufology, but still, the guy did build a bunker. You know, he told Julian Dory, and Julian Dory kind of called him out. So, like, why, right? Why? What does he know? What does he know? And then another one that I'm not going to show here, it was Matt, the Good Trouble show. There's something coming down the pipeline, you know, like, and this 3IA Atlas, it's different than a Oumuamua. It's different. So the question is, if 3IA Atlas is something, right, from the phenomena, is it a new player in town, or is it reinforcements for something that's already here? Or is the alien security system that we have on planet Earth not just gonna take care of it? Don't worry about it. I heard a remote viewing on a metaphysical show. It's called Metaphysical, I think it's called. These guys are good remote viewers. And by the way, the Future Forecasting Group, they're also really good remote viewers. They remote viewed both of them. Like, by the way, before the Future Forecasting Group, they have people that Jack Valet put in Forbidden Science. They took the best remote viewers they can talk about, and they've all said, dude, this is anomalous. This is a freaking alien object coming, like a mothership. So I take those people seriously. The Future Forecasting Group really impressed me when they did a month before the October 7th attack of Hamas. October 7th, yeah, 2023. A month before, they did this remote view that really blew my mind. I mean, it was the October 7th attack, 100%. My biggest concern is for I don't know, let's say worst case scenario, something really bad has happened. Alien invasion, whatever. I'm super skeptical of this, by the way. I'm just addressing, I've already said this, I know, but like the small part of me that's been kind of bothering. Will I be able to go see a doctor and will the pharmacy, like, right? Like, I have, you know, I need medicine, right? Like, will that happen? Or will it be just so much chaos that it would be like Walking Dead? I mean, like, if I can get medicine, I'll be all right, man. Look, I'm almost embarrassed about this podcast, but I don't care. I just want to say I love you guys. I love anybody out there. I love every human being for their freaking imperfections, and I hope we can come together as a planet and move on. You know, like, I see all this division in the community, in politics, and, you know, I'm the kind of guy, like, I would get in fights in high school with people, and I remember, like, getting in fights, like, in high school with, like, two guys, and they became my best friends after. Like, whatever happened to that? Like, you know, just fight it out and then, like, become homies. Like, so if ever, and anything ever happens, just keep that human side alive and follow your heart. Do not lose your heart, please. Like, we need some love in this world, man, for real. I love you. I love you guys, for real. Anybody out there that's going through some stuff, no judgment. I love you. Good night.